the 915 Pipeline. This is the episode one. A little something I wanted to start doing to highlight some of the time I spend in athletics, amateur athletics here in El Paso as a coach and teacher. So tonight we have Coach Joe Martinez. He was humble enough to invite us over to start it off. We did this a little bit during football season, so Coach, welcome to the pod. This is the first one. Let's see how it goes.
Thanks for having me, Coach. What an honor.
So, getting close to the end of the year, here we are in May already. The year went by really fast. Kind of what was kind of the highlights, or if you could sum up kind of everything that was going on at the school, and how'd you feel about it? What was going on?
Man, it was a great year for us. The kids, they came through. They had high expectations. Beginning of the school year, the kids wanted to win, and you could just tell a little salty from the previous year, being a little short, and the kids really wanted to win, man, and it showed. It showed in the off season, showed in the summer, it showed, during the season, of course, and then not just football. I mean all sports. All sports. They were really locked in, is the right word to say, and just so much to talk about all the success we've had, and more coming up in the future as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it had to do. I mean, there was definitely some changes in the staff. We had leadership roles that the guys, definitely picked up the mantle and took over. And luckily, we have some of those guys coming back. They're doing good things in track and in baseball and other sports.
Yeah.
Sharing the athletes is something we definitely got to do at Ysleta. So that's been good to see them have success in all those areas. And then on the girls' side, we have Coach Sanchez and the volleyball team that's been pretty awesome. And then, Coach Quintana just finished up her season getting the district championship. So a lot of success definitely this year. But it's been fun. It's been a fun ride from August to here, and now we got off-season football, so that's been numbers are there. It looks like in the mornings, and then just finishing up the school year. I mean, what are your kind of feelings about the way the kids are doing so far in the off-season?
They're doing great, man, and they're really bought into the process of preparing themselves in the off season. And just a little fun fact: when we got there 10 years ago. We had 0 girls teams make playoffs. So we had no girls team made playoffs. The track team was, maybe like 6, 7 girls on the team. And so the kids bought in, man. The girls bought in, the boys bought in. And it shows, like I said, from no teams in the playoffs, now it's the expectation. It's the minimum. Making playoffs is a bare minimum now. And like, again, it goes back to their dedication, their hard work. They're just good kids, man. And they want to work, they want to win, which is the most important thing. You can tell in their emotion, in their actions, the way they carry themselves. So we're excited about their work ethic, really.
Yeah, I mean, when I got there at first, 8 years ago, it was like what I get myself into. Not really knowing what was going to happen, and the success of the baseball team was pretty rough. And Coach Solis, was like, hey, like I want you to come on staff and get there and see everything. And that first group of guys, those were some dogs. Like they really got after it, and it was hard to even believe that they had gone years without winning games and turned it around. But I think that goes to just be a perfect example of what those kids are like from that area.
Yeah.
And I mean, you came from that area. You grew up there. You're an alum. Kind of. How have you seen things change from when you were there to like how things are going now?
Well, you know what? One of the things that I remember when I was a student there is that the head coaches were people we looked up to. So, I had Craig Ritchie as my football coach. Coach Aragon was our baseball coach. And we looked up to those guys. And you want to play for, you want to win for them. Not for yourself, of course, but more for them. And so I think that now, with people like Coach Solis, Coach Puente, Coach Minjares, Coach Quintana, Coach Padilla in soccer, all the assistants, man, all the help we have, I think we have the right people in the right place. And I think, of course, the kids make a difference. No doubt, but having the right leadership up there, having the right mentors for these dudes and the girls, and the time that these coaches put in, the dedication they have, the pride they have in the school, man, it makes a big difference. And so what I remember when I was a student is that we had that back then. And when I got there 10 years ago, I just thought it felt empty. It felt like people were going through the motions with traditions, with off-season workouts. Even the season was going through motions, and now there's purpose behind everything we do. And again, it's having the right kids, of course, the right parents support, But having the right administration, having the right coaches, it's made a world of a difference.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference over the past years. And it's you talk about all those great coaches that have been there ever since I've been there. It seems like, and just the amount of time and commitment that they have towards their programs has been pretty phenomenal. And I
Yeah.
think too, just given that our numbers continue to dwindle down, like it's pretty awesome what we're able to do, even at the 4A level, even when we were still in 5A. We had some competition and we competed, with the lack of numbers. That's a hard thing for me to, adjust to. Formerly coming from coaching college baseball and everything to being in a place where you got barely anything to work with. But I think one thing one of the coaches told me when I first got there at Ysleta was like, "Hey man, like if you show these kids like you care about them, like they'll run through a wall for you.
Yeah.
Like if they see that you're not just there rolling out the balls, collecting a paycheck, you'll tap into that special ability for them to thrive and have some success. And I mean, I've seen that firsthand with football or baseball, and then the last couple of years with football. So it's been real fun and just you know it's great being there.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what, the move to 4A kind of accentuated all that stuff because people can't say all you want because you're in 4A now. Because as baseball won district championship in 5A. You know, boys basketball won district championships in 5A. Volleyball won district championships in 5A. So it's not the success isn't attributed to us moving down a division because we were successful when we were in 5A. So it's more attributed to the buy-in. Like I said before, and the kids have a good time, man. The coaches have a good time there. I don't know about you, but when I go to work, I don't feel like I'm going to work, man. I look forward to seeing all you guys and hanging out and you guys coming down to the office and us meeting in the weight room and on the field. And I just think that culture, man, the kids feed off of it. And that's why we're successful, I think, across the board because, if you go to a volleyball game, you can see football there, you can see baseball kids there, soccer kids are going to be there. You go to a football game, all the volleyball girls want to be there, all our baseball kids want to be there. And so we support each other, and the kids have bought into that mentality, that philosophy, that way of life that Ysleta brings. And I think it's all due to the coaches that believe in each other, man, and your success is my success. It's not me against you, or you against me. It's us against everybody else. And I think that mentality is really lends itself to more success. For
Yeah,
sure.
no, definitely for sure. I think once you get those kids believing and working together as a whole unit, as a family, and buying into it, yeah, you're gonna have those that stray away, but those that really do buy into the process and really commit to doing something for Ysleta and having that pride that you see all the time. Like I
Yeah.
go anywhere and I'm wearing Ysleta gear, it's like, hey, I'm tribe of 68. Once an Indian, always. I hear that so much,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because it's like all throughout El Paso. Um, you know, uh, just to see that there is that pride, and I think it is like little by little, kind of making its way back, even though it's at a smaller setting. And I mean, I think a lot of people move out of the area, and we don't have the same numbers and all that. But I think at the same time, like what we do have is really strong and deeply rooted into the Ysleta community for sure.
Yeah, man. But also, a lot has to do also with the parents, the parents that buy into what we're doing. And people see it, our social media is probably one of the best in town, if not the best in town. And that goes a long way because parents that move out of our community see that, the success we're having. We, we're breaking stereotypical, what people think about Ysleta High School.
Norms that
Yeah,
they
the
have and
norms, yeah,
stuff.
the they categorize us as Lower Valley School and the connotations that may come with that. But parents are seeing the success now, and we got a lot of legacy kids that come to our school and help us be successful, man, and that makes a big difference also. But the heart of our community is the kids that they grew up in the Lower Valley, and there's just something about them, man. They say Lower Valley kids never die, and it's true. Those kids, they're tough. They have every reason to miss practice, every reason to quit, every reason to not be successful, but they succeed and they win, man, and they work. And I think that just I'm from there, and it's just the way you're raised is that you don't have a choice. You're either good at this, or you're gonna fall off. And these kids have chosen to buy in, man. And like I said, it's that success is contagious and across the board. So next year we're expecting the same thing. Our expectation is, we're gonna win at all costs, no matter what. We're gonna get that win. We're gonna work hard now. to get those wins in the fall. So hopefully it keeps going.
Yeah, no, and I definitely I remember my first year. I remember it was a Saturday practice that we had, and I couldn't sleep the night before, and I was just having a hard time. And I got up, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna head to the field. I'm gonna go get there early. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. Went and got some coffee, got to the locker room. I was just kind of chilling, and we never have early workouts or early practices. And so Lisa's like, hey, like some of these kids like they got to catch a bus, and they got to cross at 4 in the morning, and it's like, dang, like I'll never forget, like I went in the locker room, got my stuff, changed, and I was going to go to the field. And as I was coming out, I saw a city bus pull up, and three of our players got off. And it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I got three baseball players showing up on a city bus and practice at 9. But that was the only time they could
Yeah,
catch in to get in. And, just to see that, it was like, all right, these guys are, man, like I could still be in bed and get up at 8:30 and get here. And, these guys are that much more committed. And it's just pretty awesome to see. But, definitely it's a cultural thing. And just like the toughness is, like you said, it's just from down there, it's you're either gonna grit your teeth and get through it, or you have, like you said, every excuse to say, oh, it's my surroundings, or it's this, or it's that. But I think a good amount of the kids really do come through and just have that fight to them. So you see it in all the sports, I think, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, man. Just something about when I was growing up, right there in the Lower Valley, we had 1,800 kids at Ysleta High School, and now 2,000 kids at high school. And now we're down to 1,100 kids. And so a lot of people think also, they graduated some good studs last year. They're going to be done, or it's over, the run's over, whatever. But I think the young kids are stepping up, man. They really are. And I think for us to really be a successful program, you have to have longevity, right? You have to be good for a long period of time. It's got to become the norm. And I think that we have the kids, man, coming up. We have the kids coming up that are working hard, and the ones that need more work, they're there. They're there putting that in. And so us losing kids doesn't mean that we're not going to be good anymore. It just means that we're going to reload, man. And like I said, success is it's going to be long term. It's not going to be something that just happens a couple of years and that's it. I think we're in for the long run.
Yeah, and I think it's like those younger kids that of course you had the time when you had the studs and everything, and they did go on, excuse me, to like college and everything, and it was like, okay, well, that was their chance. And you look at it, and I mean, we lost a lot of guys, key players, excuse me, and we ended up going undefeated this year, not even having all those players. And so it's I think just a testament to those younger kids that were like, this guy can do it, I can do it too, and just them buying in, and like you said, just pursuing and staying after it and looking at themselves. Like you said, last year was man in the mirror, and they just bought into that. So
Yeah.
it's definitely those type of kids that just continue to grow and get stronger by looking at their peers and being led by other classmates. So now, what year is this for you, coaching wise?
This will be so this is my 10th year. This finished my 10th school year, so I started my 11th season in the fall.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a ride, man. It's been a ride, and I started Horizon High School back in 2007. So I've been around a little bit. I've been to Horizon High School. I went to Eastwood High School. I went to Ballard High School. So I've been around town, a little bit, and like I said, man, it was good to be home. It's nothing better than being at home, but I think all those experiences and the staff as well. If you notice, all our coaches. I mean, you came from New Mexico, and you coached at the JUCO level in baseball. Coach Solis, played pro ball in Mexico. So all these dudes, man. Coach Sanchez played ball at Sol Ross, and so all these coaches have good backgrounds, man. And I just think that is what has really unified or strengthened our athletic department. Everybody has good ideas. Everybody brings something to the table, and we all buy into it. We all crave that knowledge. We all share, man, and it's created a brotherhood there, and I think that's a big part of what we got going too.
Yeah, and like as far as like your coaching journey, like I was gonna kind of go up, build off of that, I think you kind of explained it right there. Like, what was like one thing like you would say to someone wanting to go into the coaching career, wanting to be a teacher and a coach, like some advice, and I think you kind of talked about it, like just having good ideas and having, a whole tribe, a whole group not trying to do it all on your own. Because I've noticed that about you a lot. You're the athletic coordinator, but as far as like football practice, I mean, you let the guys do their thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot about trusting your personnel, and then also even like just supporting and looking at what we're doing in baseball or basketball or football, um, volleyball. It's always kind of like you said. I think you're right. Like we do have a bunch of good quality coaches that know the game and know what it takes to put competitive teams out there. But yeah, I mean, what other advice? What else would you have for someone looking to get into coaching?
Yeah, man. So I just think that I think the main thing that a lot of people have an issue with, I think the younger cats struggle with, is just ego and pride. Is a big factor, I think, that turns people off. I think even the best to do, even the pros, they share, they steal, they take ideas and skills from other players, and they're not ashamed to admit it, man. Everything's shared or borrowed. Everything I learned from somebody else, and they learned from somebody else. So none of my ideas are original. Like I said, everything I know, I had good mentors that taught me that stuff. So to the young people, I would say if you want to be a good coach, you have to be an open book, man. You have to be a sponge. Number one, a sponge, absorb everything, learn from everybody, learn the good things, what to do, what not to do, and also be an open book, man. Share your ideas with people, because you can make a difference in that coach. Shit, I'm 44 years old now, and there's young coaches out there that I still learn from. There's older coaches that I still learn from. So I'm never gonna say, man, I'm a head football coach. I don't need your advice. Anybody gives me advice, I'm gonna listen to it, and what I do is up to me. But I am an open book, man. I'm always learning, even if it's from our softball coach. I see something she does at practice. Hey, man, I like that. It's a team building activity. I like that stuff. So I learned from her. I learned from Coach Sanchez. His volleyball culture, it's through the roof, man. So I learned from him. I learned from our baseball staff. I learned from my assistant coaches. So you have to be willing to learn from everywhere you can, and I think that's going to make you a successful, coach in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, continue to be coachable.
Yeah,
Almost.
there you go. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, I felt like that when I got hired on staff. With Coach Cook and Coach Hardy. I mean, Cook had been a D1 coach or a D1 assistant for years and years, and then like working with the pitching coach. Rowdy. He just got done with his pro ball career, so just to see the way they handled it, because they were at a level that I'd never been at. And to, it was like, all right, I'm going to soak this up. Like, okay, what did I like? What didn't I like? And I think it kind of went back to, I mean, my ego was crushed really young because my dad's like, look, you're not that good, and you learn from everybody. Like, you don't ever say, my dad said this or my coach said that. It's always, you take everybody's advice, and then pick and pull, and then when it comes down to you're on the mound and you got to do it, then you figure it out, And I think, definitely being open to being coachable and learning, and whether that's from your peers or someone else older than you to mentor. I think that's definitely big and key. As you go throughout that. I mean, really, I think that's just in life.
Oh yeah,
in general.
Yeah,
like lifelong learner. So
there's a good example on ESPN where it's the World Baseball Classic, and Shohei Ohtani's in the dugout, and one of his teammates is there, and Shohei was fixing his hands, his batting stance. He said, put your bat more vertical, pick your hands, right next to your chin. And the dude does it, and the next play, dude hits a bomb in the WBC. So that's a pro, that's a professional, taking advice from somebody. I know it's Shohei Ohtani, but that's a professional saying, hey, I'm not too good to take advice from you. So he did it, man, it worked. Just one example of what these kids got to learn is that, learn from everybody. Learn from everybody, man. Learn from your opponents. Sometimes I'm watching film, another school. I'm watching film, and I learn something from that film that the coach is doing that I like, and then we end up implementing it into our program, into our playbook, or even if it's just a team culture thing. These guys have a good team culture. They eat supper before a game, here these days, and I like the idea, and I'm gonna steal it, because it works. It's good. It's productive. It's gonna make us better. So, like I said, there's no such thing as bad advice. It's just, be an open book, be smart about it, and implement stuff that is going to help you succeed as a team.
Yeah, I know, definitely. I totally agree with that for sure. This is crazy. You see that throughout all the sports, and they got those old, when Holiday was showing guys how to throw the cutter, showing Mariano Rivera, and like there's always been like that. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
those guys aren't afraid to ask someone for help or hey, what would you do or how do you do?
Yeah.
You know, I think so. That's definitely a good advice and something that's key in the everyday life.
Yeah.
Um, so how like also too like now I feel like you've been a little bit more on the baseball side. You've been in a lot more baseball games this year.
Yeah.
Given that your son's playing college ball, have you seen any changes or have you noticed anything about the game differently or do you have a different outlook on it now?
Yeah. So just watching JUCO baseball and that level of pitching and strategy is there's a lot more to baseball than meets the eye. And me, I've always been around high school baseball my whole life. I played it, and then of course I go to mostly all the Valley Boys games. But watching JUCO, man, it really opened my eyes to the level of talent that's out there. Holy smokes, especially in the whack jack, man. Holy smokes, those guys can hit the ball. There's some really good looking dudes out there, man, that can throw it, they can swing it a little bit, and just the strategy behind it is what's amazing to me. How coaches call pitches, the pitching moves that they make. Because I've been to pro games before, a couple here and there, but following the same team through a whole season, like I did with EPCC, I pretty much went to all their games. Really opened my eyes to what a coach sees, and towards the end of the season, I was able to kind of predict, coach is about to pull this guy out, coach is going to bring this guy in now because he brings this to the table. And so seeing all that stuff as a football coach, it's pretty amazing, man, the strategy that goes into baseball. Because if you're a layman, if you don't know baseball very much, all you see is pitching changes and you see, coach making moves that you don't know the rhyme and reason to it. But as you follow a team from fall ball to preseason to the actual season, you realize what they're doing, man, and it's pretty amazing. Pretty talented. The talent level that these coaches have is pretty amazing. I think to make those calls and those moves in the game.
Yeah, and I mean it's funny because like being there at that level, coaching at that level, I learned a lot. Like it was mind blowing to me how much detail went into even just calling signs from third base. When you're on the bases and to your batters, and Cook had so many signs and different adjustments, and it was just crazy. And then it's like then I came down to the high school level. It was like, all right, we got to simplify that down to super simple. And but like, yeah, it's funny because it's cool. You come into work and then we talk a little bit about it. I'm like, oh, this guy's getting into it. Like he's starting to see, there's so much more than just hey, that guy's going to go out there and throw. No, there's someone that's going to come in after him, and they're going to do certain things on certain players. So, yeah, it's definitely I think a big change. Definitely like to talk to Evan sometime. And heck, some of his other teammates maybe, or any of the guys that that had just left. I mean, we had More, played college ball, and then Danny. So those guys they could definitely attest to that.
Oh yeah, man. And one of the biggest things I saw too is what I call is the value of the error. So what I noticed in high school is that errors are committed, right? In any level, errors are committed, but the weight of an error increases exponentially as you go up in levels, right? So high school kid makes an error, hey, we shake it off, go to the next play, whatever. What I noticed was that at the next level, one error can cost you a game. And at any level, of course, but the consequences of one error increase exponentially from high school to baseball, from high school to college baseball.
Yeah.
And so I saw, EPCC, for example, drop games because of just one error, And this is an error with nobody on. Nobody's on base, make an error, guy gets on first, and then next guy goes yard and the game's lost now, because of that. So it's just that's something I learned just watching college baseball is the consequence of one error increases so much at that level.
Yeah, so you definitely can make at that level, and especially the whack jack offensively, they'll make you pay for those errors.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving up a free 90 is not. Right off the bat, it's more than likely it's gonna score.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool that you got to experience that, and then just kind of baseball went well, got second place. Here we are going to area. So, I think with me, I got was a little hard on myself, or a little hard with my expectations with the guys. Um, I think because we kind of got used to winning district championships, and the other day I sat back, I was like, dude, like why am I so frustrated? We're second place. Just
Yeah.
like it got to the point where it was like, no, like it should be a district championship every year. And but our boys played well, and they got us. We had that by district playoff this week. They got the job done, and we're going on to area. So still in the same boat that we've been in the past few years. So I'm excited to see them, and I think the boys will. I think it's a little bit different group, but I think when they're relaxed and when they're it drives coach crazy that they're not always locked in. But I think sometimes when the more relaxed and more not focused they are, the better they play sometimes. So I
Yeah.
think I think with teams, every team's a little different having to coach it. I mean, it's probably the same with football, but like you can't coach the same group, a different group, the same way you coach the last group
Yeah.
because you just the personalities and the abilities and just kind of the way the guys go about things. It's definitely something I've learned being at the high school level.
Yeah, for sure.
But
This old cliche, right? You gotta coach to the kids. But every team is different, and a lot of times, as coaches, we're kind of set in our ways of how we approach strategy, not strategy, but like building the team culture, and we try to keep our expectations consistent. But what I've learned is that, like you said, every team is different, right? Not just in strategy wise. I mean, one team in football, one team we might be better at passing the ball, we might be better at running the ball, we might be a blitzing team, a coverage team. But aside from that, just the way the culture side has to change also. It's not just strategy. You change the culture of it. So some kids, some teams are high intensity. It's a rah-rah team. We want to be loud. We want to be intense. We're always, pumped up, chest bumping. And some teams are more, nonchalant. They go with the flow. They're quieter. It doesn't mean that their effort's not there. They're just different. They're just different. They react to different things. And I think this team, this baseball team, different culture in the dugout. Even on the field, it's a very, very different, nonchalant, but they made plays when they had to. They made plays when they had to. And came a little short against Riverside. Riverside's a good team. Hats off to them. But I just think that if they can get hot now, I think we got a good shot this week at area.
yeah, I hope so. I mean, like at the end of the day, it's like kind of like even in pro ball, it's like it doesn't matter if you have 110 wins or if you're just squeaking in the playoffs. It's like who's hot when it counts.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that is a big aspect of it. So hopefully, coming off the 3 games, gave up 2 runs. Just happened to be one of them was a 1-0 win. And the boys put up a good amount of runs. So I think if we get it going, I'm excited. We got 3 practices, and then we get on the bus and head on out for a Texas high school playoff game. So series. But yeah, it's just
Yeah, well, we'll
just
see
keep going.
what West Plains brings to the table. I mean, I'm sure the Canyon schools are always good. They always have good baseball up there. Any Panhandle team's going to be a quality team, So I just think we got to be error-free baseball. Once you give errors to good teams, it's going to get tough to stop them. So I think if we can be error-free and just put the ball in play, force some errors on them, I think we should be all right.
Yeah, no, definitely. As far as the rest of the summer, what do we got going football wise? Anything? Got football camps? Anything coming up?
Yeah, man, we're gonna have a youth camp. We're gonna have a youth camp coming up here in June. Uh, but one of the main focuses of our off season, the way we do it is, as you know, is we do a whole group off season training.
Yeah,
So the way we run it, man, is that so we have 3 stations. We have a weight room station, we have a outdoor running station, and we have an agility station. And so all teams are invited, man. We have volleyball, softball, baseball, soccer, football, I don't know, basketball already, track, and they all come out and we split them up, everybody into 3 groups, and then we rotate. First group is in the weight room, second group is running, and then third group is in agility. And then we rotate those groups around. So a little different Ysleta, man. We don't just say this is football workout. No, this is for everybody. And we invite everybody to come out, and so I think that's something I look forward to every summer now, because you get to meet kids from all different sports that you're maybe not familiar with. You get to meet all the incoming freshmen from volleyball to softball to baseball to football, and you meet everybody, and you're able to evaluate their level of intensity, their level of athleticism, what they got to work on, and it helps out tremendously.
Yeah, I mean it was really good last summer. We had really good numbers, and I think it was very beneficial because having more with all the coaches that were involved, everybody was there from every program, and it was like you got to work with those kids, and the kids could see, okay, these guys are here to work with us, and correct form, and just even the small stuff that we were trying to get through that these kids had no idea in the weight room or whatever the case may be. But it's definitely, I think it was a good setup for last year for sure. It was
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
it
It
was
was.
good, very productive,
And
and then
one of the best things is that I'm a weight room guy. I like being in the weight room, teaching the weight room. So I get to teach these guys on the girls too. Correct squat form, how to power clean. Weight room etiquette, weight room safety, and I think that goes a long way because now learning that in the summer, now when they go into season in their weightlifting programs, coaches don't have to cover all that. It's already been covered for them.
yeah,
So I think it scaffolds their weight program into the fall and into their seasons. So I just think that's a big plus too that these kids learn that into the summer. It'd be nice to learn at the middle school, and I think that's the next step that we got to do to make our programs better is start teaching that weight room technique, the weight room culture at the middle school. If we can do that, man, our programs will be so much better in the future. Because that's kind of something that happens in East Texas, and everywhere else. As a matter of fact, they teach these kids how to lift at the middle school level, and so by the time they get to high school, hit the ground running. Now they're not teaching from step one
yeah.
in the summer of their freshman year. They're already an advanced weightlifter. So
I think
that's
too,
important.
like that helps with them getting into because so many people shy away from it. Like they get to high school as a freshman, and they're like, I don't know, like they're uncomfortable. They never get comfortable. I think by having that the summer, I think it really helped because I think it definitely helped with baseball, seeing the guys, handle themselves and make the lifts correctly, and not be afraid to go to the weight room. Like they were ready to go to the weight room. So giving them a leg up with that, and then just kind of like the expectations and how we roll and how we do drills and stuff. I think that set the tone definitely going into football and then volleyball and then just kept on throughout the school year with all the other athletics. But definitely think I don't know, should be good. Another good turnout, and I mean, it's crazy how fast it just goes by because it's like we're closing up May and then it's like back into it already in the summer. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to football again. This past year was fun. It's gonna be fun again this year. I think just with the kids that we got, the returners, you know, should
And,
be a good
and I think
little.
summer will be a good measuring stick of the dedication that these kids have, right? So in the off season, during school, it's they're gonna be there because it's part of the class, and we do morning workouts, right? But 10th period is part of the school day, so they gotta be there. So the summer really is a good measuring stick of what our culture is gonna be like for the next school year, right? So if we have 70, 80 football kids there, they're gonna win district again. That'll be the expectation that they're gonna win. And same thing goes for volleyball. Same thing goes for baseball and soccer and basketball. If the kids show up in the summer, that's where I, as a coach, measure. All right, these kids are going to be successful because they're dedicated now. They're coming in the summer. They're putting in that work. But if kids start missing, then that's also a sign that, hey man, something's wrong. Kids aren't showing up, and it's going to show once the pads come on. So we'll see. Hopefully, this show.
Yeah. Altogether, what do we have returning? So Rigo,
Yeah, man. So offensively, we have our quarterback Rodrigo Martinez returning. We got Richard Thomas as a receiver, Silas Thomas a receiver.
AJ.
We got AJ Guzman coming back as a receiver. We lost our running back, but we got a good one coming up in Daniel. We got a couple good ones coming up, and then of course our old line. We bring back Carlos. That he's gonna be our anchor at the old line. We bring back Gio. We bring back Angelo Nájera. Then we got some. We're actually, believe it or not, we have a big old line this year. Finally, we've usually known for having smaller old lines nowadays, but I'm really excited, man. I think 4 of our 5 old linemen are going to be over 6 feet tall, so I'm excited about that. It hasn't happened since I've been at 17 years. So to have an old line over 6 feet tall is exciting. Not only that, they're super athletic. They run like receivers. They can move. They're strong. They can move. They can pull. We can run a lot of gap schemes and get out on the perimeter a little bit more. A lot of spraying out stuff with our quarterback. So personally, I mean, we bring a lot of guys back, but I'm very excited about our old line and their athleticism and what they bring to the table, man. With Coach Reese handling those guys, they're gonna be a handful for any defensive line. So yeah, we bring back all those guys on offense, on defense. We bring back, of course, Ruben is our defensive player of the year, but we bring back safety Sebastian Medina. We bring back Mateo Villarreal, our defensive end, Johnny Morales, defensive tackle, DJ Escarcega, our linebacker. So, like I said, man, it's going to be 8 and 8 each side of the ball that we bring back. So, like I said, man, if these kids want to win, and from what I've seen so far off season, man, they're locked in, they're all in, and so is our staff. So, I expect a great summer session. I expect these guys to put in the work and hit the ground running in the fall. So we're excited, man. I'm really excited for all our fall sports. Actually, man, it's gonna be something cool to see.
Yeah, every time I walk into the locker room right after 10th period, like just the vibe and just the energy that's in that football locker room going to baseball, like they're just, hey coach, like they're excited, you ready? Like, I was like, I don't even know what you guys did today, but you guys are looking like you're definitely locked in and pretty excited for the season. So, I'm excited to get back out there and capture the moments on camera and put together some more highlight videos. I mean, it's fun to do when you got some good players that are out there getting after it, give you something to shoot. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited for that for sure. And then, yeah, we'll get going.
Yeah, man, before I forget too, man, shout out to Joe Martinez, man. He just came back from regional track. He's a returning quarterback, and the dude ran a 48.89 in the 400, which is pretty unbelievable, man. PR'd up in Lubbock. Got third place, so one place short of a state qualification, but proud of him. He really grew as a track runner, and I think that's gonna, just lend itself to being a better quarterback. So, hats off to him, man. Congratulations to him for a great season, and I think he's destined to go to state next year. So hopefully, he keeps.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. So there's 4 regions?
There's 4 regions.
So he was like, you take 2 out of 4, 8. So he's like in the top fastest, like top 10.
I'll say
for that
event? Top 10 in the 400. Yeah.
That's pretty freaking.
Sure.
That's pretty freaking good.
It's
in the state of
impressive.
Texas.
In the state of Texas, that's pretty impressive, man. But I mean, that dude, he puts the work in the weight room. He puts the work on the track, and as you know, the 400 meter race, it's a man's race. It challenges you. It challenges you. I ran that in high school, and it just challenges your. It takes everything out of you to complete that race week after week, and for him to do it at that level, all season long, and compete at that level at regional, it's very impressive, man. And it just speaks to his determination, his toughness. That's one of the toughest kids I've ever coached, and he's gonna have a great year.
Yeah, sure. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Congratulations, Rigo. Definitely well deserved. That he's there working with other football guys that are out there too, and the coaches that are there. So shout out to Ysleta Track in general, just the job they did this year. And yeah, just get back here and we'll get after it.
For sure. Yeah, man, it's just gonna go by fast. A lot of these kids think that I got all summer, to. It's a long time till my season starts. I got time to relax and time to, and the old saying says that one of the biggest mistakes is thinking you have time. And if you're a high school kid right now, I think you have to have urgency. Whether you're going to be a senior, a junior, sophomore, or incoming freshman, you gotta have some urgency about you, because in the blink of an eye, it's all over. And we've been through it, right? Yeah. Where you're a freshman, all of a sudden, oh man, it's over. You're playing your last. It's senior night, playing your last game, and it's all over now. So you really have to have urgency about yourself and the way you train and the way you conduct yourself in the summer to prepare for the season, because you never know. You never know. Any play could be your last, right? And if you don't appreciate what you have now, before you know it, it's over, and then you strapped it on for the last time, and so it's up.
Yeah, I think especially like in football, like once it's over, it's over. Like you can't go hit anybody anymore. Yeah. Like you can no longer throw any blocks or run any more touchdowns. I mean, you can do flag football and stuff like that, but yeah, I think just the urgency in general with just all levels and all sports is, it's definitely needs to always be there. It's definitely sometimes hard to get across to them and just the idea of it. But I think,
Yeah.
a lot of times, like, I think these guys don't realize, like, if you're not coming from the college level and recruiting, it's like, if I knew before you got to your junior year, if I was going to offer you, like, I knew your freshman, sophomore year. It's like, so if you're not already being talked to, if you're not already getting some sort of thing rolling for those of you that want to be college athletes, it's like they're not going to see your senior year on a Friday night, like when everybody else is, you know, everybody's in season
Yeah.
when you're in season, so it's definitely a lot harder. But I think, yeah, just the urgency of whatever your dream is, whether it's having success in being a district qualifier in a sport or winning a district championship or getting to, some recognition, being the MVP of the district. I think, yeah, that urgency has to be there for sure. Cause like you said, before you know it, it's gone. It's like, what did you, do with that last 24 hours? And next thing you know, you're walking across that stage
Yep.
at the stadium and you're saying goodbye. But
After that, life hits you hard, right?
yeah, then you got to be an adult to do adult things and pay bills.
You gotta become an adult quick. Uh, just what I tell these kids, man, is that it's funny, but right now they have us to pressure them. Hey, be at practice. Hey, that's the wrong color shirt at workouts today. Hey, make sure you do good in school. Make sure you attend class. Do your homework. Make good choices. Be a good son. Be a good boyfriend. All that good stuff. Once they graduate, man, all that's over. They're on their own. No one's gonna wake up and tell them, hey, dog, make sure you get to class today. Hey, man, make sure you do your homework today. No one's gonna tell them. It's gotta come from them now. And if they don't have those habits now, it's gonna be hard for them to succeed. So hopefully, man, these kids understand that we're on them for a reason, right? We wanna that stuff ingrained in them, not because I told you, but because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
And hopefully they carry that into college, man. Because
I think that's in everything though. Like
Yeah.
not even just college. Like whether that's getting into the police academy or getting into like any job really. Like when it comes down to it, and it's someone's business, and you're part of their business, and you're messing with their money, they're going to be very hesitant or very quick to go ahead and let you go if you can't show up on time or you can't wear the right stuff.
Yeah.
And I think just trying to get that across to them, like, hey, like this isn't just to. We're not doing this just to do it. It's like at some point it does make a difference, whether that's at the college level or just in general work and stuff. So, sometimes it's like, man, like, it's like, I wish sometimes we had the chances, like, hey, like, I'm going to go ahead and come in. I'm only going to come in 3 days this week, but you're going to pay me for the whole week because I've tried. Like, it's like, guys, no, that's not how it works. So, I mean, I think just setting that example for sure and asking them to, put forth that kind of effort, it's only going to be beneficial to them in the end. So, I mean, and I think too, like, again, the summer workouts really helped with that. I think just because I think everybody showed up and they didn't want to be the person that didn't show up and be like, oh, so-and-so didn't show up. So it just kind of brought accountability from their peers. Like, hey, this is what we do. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, well, heck, man. Well, yeah, best of luck this coming year. I'll be there. Thanks for having me again over here at your house and set this up and let's give it a shot. And again, just kind of wanted to talk athletics and high school athletics and high school coaching. So I appreciate it having me over, Coach.
Yeah, man, sounds good, dog. Thanks
Definitely.
for having me on. What an honor.
No, definitely want to do it again. Definitely during football season, we'll definitely get back at it and do some in-season recaps and stuff. So now that we can make them a little bit longer,
Yeah.
make the clips. So, but all right, well, thank you guys for those of you that checked it out. Hopefully, you guys liked it. We'll see you guys in the future. Tune in for the next one. I don't know who the coach, player, athletic trainer, whoever it might be, strength coach. I'll get someone else on and we'll keep going with this. So you guys have a good night. Have a good day. Take care. We'll see you next time.